all the value is the little details. All the value is the little details that I could go to the local MMA gym somewhere. There's, gyms that are good enough that I could learn, good fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. But you know what I can't learn there? I can't, it's not possible for me to learn all the little details that only the best people in the world know. And you've been working on your grappling, I don't know, more than 20 years, 30 years, maybe more than 20 years. A guy like Gilbert or Royce Gracie comes to help. All these people they spent their life doing this at the highest levels. They're not good, they're the best in the world. So all those little details, when you can learn the little details from people that are the best, or people that are doing quite excellent at something, that's where all the value is. If you can't pay attention to those little details, great, tremendous success is not for you. Success is not for everybody. If you don't have $1 million yet, you're living a much lesser life than what could be easily available to you with the right guidance. My head coach has freed up a few spots on his calendar to hold one-on-one strategy calls with the highest quality applicants. If you're doing well already and you're looking to accelerate your momentum and do even better, click the link in the description now and apply for your strategy session. More at the end of this video. Do the right things to stand out. And maybe I'll ask you one more time in the context of your life. At your gym, are you going to focus on the few guys that show up consistently for years and work hard? Or are you going to treat everybody equal? Like some new guy that comes and says, I'm going to be world champion, but he can't tie his shoe.
No, you have to have a difference, that's, it's my time. It's my time that I'm putting there,
It's your most valuable asset, yeah.
I wanted to pass it on. What I accomplished, my success, but I want people to be willing to do it, willing to push himself to whatever. And like you say about the homework, it's not just about, I say that all the time, you gotta think this 24/7, you gotta think this if you really want to be a world champion. Think about what you ask. You want to be world champion, the best fighter in the world. So yeah, definitely not, the training should not stop in the gym. Maybe physical, but you go in, like you do with your jiu-jitsu. Put that in your mind and keep going step by step.
You've been coming through helping me out with my training for, I don't know, something like a year and a half. You've been about every 3 months, you come work with me for half a week, help me clean some things up, help me build new skills, refine things that I know. What are some of your observations? I think people find this interesting, or at least at my live events, they tend to find it quite interesting. In the context of this course, I'm the professor or the teacher or whatnot. It's a mentoring course with my name on it. But in the context where I'm playing the role of the student, and you're the professor, and you're teaching me jiu-jitsu or you're teaching me martial arts, what are some things that you observe about my behavior or my learning style when those roles are reversed?
As you as a student,
yes,
hard worker, and in a way you put a lot of pressure on yourself because in jiu-jitsu you like to get a perfection, like yesterday in Katagatame, you came in over here and was already in the situation like real naked, like I told you already, and you trying to get all the little details to get perfect, and you focus on that, you sit down, and it impresses me. I tell that to the students in my gym. I tell them, a guy like Derek, he doesn't need to fight. He's probably not gonna fight ever. Hopefully he doesn't have to in the street, and probably not gonna fight because you don't have to. But the way you put you focus on something and try to get perfection, you keep starting the same thing over and over and go over the details. 2 days, yesterday we work Katagatame escapes, and the day before we working on Darce chokes and Darce choke escape, all this stuff you put it together, And yeah, I like the intensity that you have to learn. And I can't believe how much you grow over the next what have been coming here year and a half.
Something like
It's a big improvement. And I told you yesterday, I'm not saying something over here, because you bring me over here, I'm your coach and anything. I can tell you this, and I can bring anybody, any specialist in jiu-jitsu, and he's not gonna say the opposite.
Yeah, I bring all the best guys here, and this is why I feel very fortunate for that, and I feel very grateful for that opportunity. So I appreciate that you take time away from your gym and away from your life to come help me. Probably means more to me than you know. Next week Frank Mir is here. The week after Gilbert Burns. The week after Jake Shields. So on, so on, so on. So I do have so many really elite grapplers and MMA people that. It don't do any good for one person to say nice words about me if I don't have the skills, because next week we're going to find out if the skills are there or not.
Exactly.
And the week after that, and the week after that, exactly. And the week after that. So, it's nice to hear nice words, but it don't mean anything if the skills aren't there. So I got to make sure I do my part and pay attention to those little details. I think all the value, and I want you people to pay attention to this for your own damn good. All the value is the little details. All the value is the little details that I could go to the local MMA gym somewhere in the greater Chicago area, somewhere in the greater Las Vegas area. Those are the cities I spend a lot of time. There's, gyms that are good enough that I could learn, good fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. But you know what I can't learn there? I can't, it's not possible for me to learn all the little details that only the best people in the world know. And you've been working on your grappling, I don't know, more than 20 years, 30 years, maybe more than 20 years. A guy like Gilbert or Royce Gracie comes to help. All these people they spent their life doing this at the highest levels. They're not good, they're the best in the world. So all those little details, when you can learn the little details from people that are the best or people that are doing quite excellent at something, that's where all the value is. If you can't pay attention to those little details, tremendous success is not for you. Success is not for everybody. Most people are going to be, somewhere in the middle. 50% are going to be below average by definition. That's nobody here. Nobody here is going to be below average. But, a lot of people are going to be somewhere between that 50 and 80% or, 80 to 90 percentile. And, that's unfortunate. You could have done more. But you're going to have to pay attention to little details. So if you can't do the homework, if you can't keep track of little details, that's the difference between somebody that does good. So they do pretty good at that thing. They're pretty good at the thing, or the people that are really great at something. I think is all those little details. And if you think mathematically, if you did things at 95% good, let's do the math on this. And I think I know the number off the top of my head, but. If you did 95% good, 0.95 to the fifth power. Yeah. So if you did 5 things and that were 95% perfect, then there's a 73% chance of success. There's 77. There's 23% chance of failure. If you did. Think about that if you were driving. What if when you were driving, you paid attention to the road 95% of the time? 5% of the time, you just closed your eyes and did some random shit.
I guess a lot of people do that. So we have all the accidents, I did a couple times.
What if we did that? Let's go a little farther out. 10 steps. Yeah. If you were 95% perfect, and you had to do 10 things at 95% perfect, now you're at a 60% chance of success. So 95% is bullshit. You have to do things, close to 100%, as close as you can get them, as close to perfect as you can get them. Now, there's going to be plenty of noise, in entrepreneurship, in the stock market, in any business endeavor, in any competitive endeavor. There's going to be plenty of noise, plenty of distraction. People try to sabotage you. People try to steal from you. You have plenty of, in any competitive endeavor, you're going to have plenty of enemies and hard competition. And if you don't take it seriously, that's okay. But the people that take it seriously are going to kick your ass. People that do take it seriously are going to embarrass you. They're going to have all the good things in life. And you're going to have, a very average life probably. So don't do that to yourself. This choose to conquer thing is not a, cute little saying, or it doesn't say like maybe conquer, conquer if it's convenient. So no, it says success is a choice. You could choose to conquer your current circumstances and be rewarded with better circumstances. And you could make a lifestyle out of that. You could choose to conquer your current circumstances and have the reward of better circumstances. You could do it again and again throughout your lifetime. And I think a person's success in the world is going to be, directly proportional to the size of the obstacles that they're able to conquer, that they're able to overcome. So if you want to have the best things in the world, you're going to have to outperform the other people who also want to have the best things in the world. And you and I talked about this the other night, I think at dinner. I never get frustrated where if there's something difficult to do, it doesn't bother me at all. I think to myself, well, if I think this is difficult and I don't like doing it, other people must really hate it. And you lived your life that way, that you were telling me yesterday that you wanted to be the best damn fighter you could be. You wanted to be best in the world. You wanted to be the most badass fighter, respected by the other fighters, champion of the world. And you spent over 20 years working on that. And now you got your belt. You get your world champion belt from the most respected organization in the world. There's only about 100 of those belts in 30 years that UFC's been around. There's about 100 champions in 30 years. So you're one of about 100 people that even have one of those belts, and in the biggest, second biggest weight division. So that's a hell of an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But it's not accidental. How did you talk to yourself when everybody here, they're going to have to do some difficult things in business? They're learning here. They're going to learn through the next 12 weeks how to build a small business, and a lot of that is psychological. And you really, I think some of your hardest negotiations are with yourself. Making agreements with yourself that you're going to do the thing. You're going to make yourself do the thing. But what if I don't feel like it? Doesn't matter what I feel like. I have to do the thing. What are some of those conversations that you had to have with yourself when, maybe you're a little sore and you don't feel like training. You don't feel like sparring hard today. You don't feel like waking up and running or something or doing your weight cut. How did you encourage yourself to do the right thing during those difficult moments?
Keep the eyes on the prize. Keep the eyes on the objective. Keep focus and like I say yesterday. I think we talking yesterday. We got to figure it out. How do I get better? Why I didn't train as good today, and that's the homework. Go home, figure it out. Like today you have tons of research you can do. Back then it used to be magazines. We buy magazines to see, even to lift weights. Like you buy the Flex magazine, 5 reps of this or that. But like today, it's you do the research. But the thing is like, what you want in life. First, desire what you want, and then know what you have to do. What do you have to do? And like you say, by seeing books, guys like you, like we talked about yesterday, guy like you that accomplished so much in the business, it's gonna be easier for you to do something like this, like you getting your black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's your goal, to get the black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you go. I see how much work you put into, how much effort. Sometimes you get injury and you're like, I gotta be careful, you gotta be careful there. But you keep training, and I stop, like you say, next week, Frank me, come next week, and this week it's me, choking the hell out of each other, and keep it going, man. I guess is that goal that to have what you want, you're gonna have to do things that you don't want, right? Sometimes, yeah.
I think early on, you have to do things that you don't really want to most of the time. And everybody hates that. Nobody wants to do it. But early on, if you're just starting, you're starting a new business, you're starting out in martial arts, you're starting something difficult, most of the time you're going to be doing things that are uncomfortable. You don't really know what the hell you're doing yet. It feels terrible. It looks terrible. You're not doing it well. And you got to keep going and figure it out. And most people quit. And that's good news. You know, for those of you that have some perseverance, it's great news that most people quit. Because if you're not a fucking quitter, you can do really well. You can do really well. Most people will just give up on themselves. You don't even have to beat your competition. They just stop being competition. They just give up. So, yeah, you know, business is that way. There's so much overlap in martial arts and business that, you know, your first 6 months as an entrepreneur, it's not going to look beautiful. You're going to look stupid. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. And if you can learn from other people's mistakes first, that's very valuable. So I try to point out a lot of things in this course of, you know, things to do, and also very importantly, things to not do to, you know, avoid making unnecessary mistakes. And you're going to have to suffer, but I think it's very different psychology that if you're suffering for a reason, if you're suffering with purpose to accomplish a goal, that's very, you know, and people can tolerate that pretty well. You know, people that are serious can tolerate that pretty well. They're like, well, I have a serious goal. Of course, I have to do difficult things that I don't want to. It's important to do them, especially when I don't want to do them. It's maybe the most important time to do them. So you're going to tolerate that inconvenience or suffering, or you're going to make that investment, is the way that I like to think about it. You're making an investment in a brighter future. People that don't want to do that, then, you know, success is not for them.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.